Hey, seventh grade. So our learning target today is I can model integer addition and subtraction. So we've been talking about what integers are, so positive, negative, whole numbers. But what we're gonna do today is we're gonna talk about how we can model ways to add and subtract them. We'll be on page 10. So we're gonna start by looking at this first example of 2 subtract 5. Now we've been talking about that we are going to change all these subtraction problems into addition problems by doing stop, shop, shop. So we have $2 in our bank. We're going to pay 5. What's the result? The result is -3. So how do we show that using money? Well, we're going to start by saying, well, let's say this is my bank account, the positive money. There's my bank. And I'm going to withdraw money. So if I have $1 in the bank and I take one out, that washes away. If I have another $1 in the bank and I take one out, that washes away, leaving me with a balance of -$3. That's how we would model it with a picture with some money. So we're going to go ahead and try that same idea down here. I'm going to switch the table a little bit and write it horizontally just due to space. So we're going to put positives, let's say, on top and our negatives on the bottom. So these positives are, of course, money in the bank. And these negatives means negative means I'm going to take money out or pay. So I'm going to start with the positive representation first. So it looks like I have 5 positive dollars. And I'm just going to use a symbol, a positive symbol to represent $5. So you should have positives on top, negatives on the bottom, $5. Okay. And then we have our negatives. And our negatives here would be representing 2, which means we're going to take $2 out of the piggy bank. So we have $5 in, we're going to take 2 out. So if we have 1 in and we take 1 out, they wash away to nothing. Another one in, take another one out, they wash away to nothing. The result then is that after I take the $2 out of the piggy bank, I still have $3 left in the piggy bank, +3. All right, so let's take a look at another example down here. All right, so we have this money situation, positive, negatives. It's looking like this time, if we look at our positive dollars, we have 2 positive dollars. Again, that's our bank, $2 in the bank account. These are our negative dollars. Looks like we have 5 this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, representing the $5 that we're going to, in this particular case, take out of the bank. So if I have $1 in the bank and I take $1 out, it washes away. If I have $1 in the bank and I take $1 out, it washes away, leaving me with a problem. I need to take $3 more out of the bank, and I don't have any money in the bank to take out. So I'm at what we call in the red, or -3 in the red. All right, here we go. Next problem, we have -4 + 1. So if we look at the relationship here, we're going to put positives on top and negatives on the bottom. We have our -4 here, so that's -1, 2, 3, 4. Again, that's a withdrawal. We're going to take that out of our bank. We want to be able to pay that out. It looks like we only, in this particular case, have $1 in the bank. So here's our bank here. It only has $1 in it. It's impossible for me to take 4 out of a bank that only has $1 in. So those cancel, leaving me with -3. You have to pay 3. All right. Why don't you go ahead and give that next one a shot there. 4 plus -1, see what you get. All right, guys, so let's see how you did. We have a positive negative chart representing money in the bank. Of course, our positives are money in the bank. Looks like this time we have $4 in our bank, piggy bank. And our negative integers represent money that we're going to pay or take out. So if we have $1 in and we take $1 out, that washes away. And that leaves me with +$3 left in the bank. Positive, that's money in the bank. How did you do? Take a look at that and see if you were able to have some success in that problem. All right, let's keep rolling through these problems here. So this next problem in our positive negative chart. Positive is money in the bank. Negatives is mean I'm taking it out. Looks like in this particular case we have 3 positives. And it looks like we have 3 negatives, 3 that we're taking out of the bank. So you have a positive $1 in the bank, you take it out, it's a wash. Positive $1 in the bank, you take it out, it's a wash. Positive $1 in the bank, you take it out, it's a wash, leaving us with $0 in the bank. Nothing left in the bank, $0. All right, guys, last problem. You can see maybe there's a little bit of a commutative property happening here where the operation is flipped. We have positive dollars in the bank and negative dollars in the bank. Positive money in the bank. Negative dollars means we're taking it out of the bank. In this particular case, looks like we have 3 negatives. 1, 2, 3. And it looks like we have 3 positives. 1, 2, 3. Positive in the bank, negative in the bank, cancels. Positive in the bank, negative in the bank, cancels. Positive in the bank, negative in the bank, 0. And you'll notice that these two problems are the same. It's just the commutative property flip. Okay, so that's how we model integers using money. Now, what I'd like you to do is meet me on page 11. Now, if I'm going too fast, you need to stop, rewind, rewatch if it's confusing. If you have a sub today and you're struggling, then you should have the sub pause the video so you have time to catch up. All right, so our next learning target is I can model integers, addition and subtraction like we just did, but this time we're going to do it on a number line. We just modeled it using money. So we're going to think of this number line very similar to what we thought of in the hotel analogy. We are going to start at 0 or 0, 0 like the origin, like check in at the front door. Find out where you're staying, that kind of idea. After we do that, we are going to find the elevator. Going to find the elevator. Positive to the right, negative to the left. What's a little bit different about this particular case is we are not going to go up and down on the elevator at all. We're actually not even going to get in the elevator. We're just going to find it. And what we're going to do is we're going to stop at that point and make a decision about our next move. So here's how it works. We always, according to the directions up here, start at 0. So everybody should be making a mark at 0. We're going to start at 0. Okay. Our first move is to find the elevator. It's located at -3. So we're going to go 3 to the left, -3. And then we're going to stop, which is a little bit different than when we were coordinate graphing, because at this point we would go up or down. But this time we're going to stop. We're going to make a decision on our next move. Our next move says go +5. So we're going to turn our whole body around and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the positive direction. Meaning my finishing position then is at +2. So +2 would be your answer there. Okay. So now let's take a look at example 2. Now if that's too fast, you should pause the video. Example 2, I'm going to slide back down so we can see. Remember, we're starting at 0 at the origin, then we find the elevator, then we stop and make a decision. So we start at the origin. We find the elevator. It's located at +1. We stop and make a decision. Our next move is -2. So we're going to actually take our whole body, turn around, and go in the negative direction, -1, -2. So our finishing position then is at -1. Finishing position is at -1. How are we doing, guys? Take a look at that. See how you're feeling about the movement that's happening. This is called walking on a number line. We're just modeling the integers in a different way. We could get the same answer many different ways, but this is one of your learning targets that says you are able to do it on a number line. Next problem, of course, we start at 0, 0. We find that elevator first. It's located at -2. So we go over -2, find that elevator. We're going to stop there, make a decision on our next move. Our next move, it looks like it's going to be negative, so we're going to continue to go -1 more. Finishing position then is -3. Everybody should have -3. Go ahead and check your work there. Make sure you're on track. All right, guys, example 4. For example 4, we start at 0 as we have been. We find that elevator. It's over at 3. We go over to 3. We stop. We turn around and come back in the negative direction. 1, 2, 3. Finishing position then is equal to 0. That means a situation where really we don't have any money left in the bank. We've spent it all. We had some, we spent it, gone, 0. Example 5, it'll be our last example walking that number line, and then we're going to switch some things up. Example 5, we start at the origin, 0, or the check-in at the front door kind of idea. We find that elevator, it's at 3, so we're going to go +3. In this particular case, because it's not a coordinate, we're not going to go up or down. We're just going to stop and make a decision on our next move. Our next move is -5, so we're going to come back -1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Our finishing position is equal to -2. Grade your papers there. Make sure you're in good shape. If not, go back and watch again. If You are feeling a-okay. Let's go ahead and move on to the next problem. Here we go, 7th grade. So we're going to switch things up. What I'm going to do down here is I'm going to show you the movement that was made on the number line, and you're going to be asked to write the equation, but it has to have an addition sign in the middle. Keeping in mind that we always start at 0. So we start at 0, we make our first move, which looks like a positive 3. Now, if you want to write a positive in front of that 3, you are definitely able to do that, but it's not necessary. It's an addition problem. And now we're going to make a decision on our next move. So our next move looks like we're going to head negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Looks like we're going negative 7. So what we would say then is our finishing position, looks like I forgot to write a number there, sorry about that. It looks like our finishing position would be equal to negative 4. Modeling that integer. So let's walk back through that in case you're confused. We're going to start here at the origin. We're going to follow the arrow which says to go positive 3. So I modeled that here. These are all addition problems. And the next move is to go in the negative direction, 7. Finishing position then, we lined up right here, is at negative 4. That's how we model on a number line, but kind of in reverse order of what we just did. We're given the movement, we are asked to write the equation. All right, we have 2 left to do in this work. For this work then, we start at the origin 0. Our first movement is actually negative 2 here. So we're going to go negative 2 in the first movement. These have to be addition problems. We're going to turn our whole body around and head back in the other direction. Positive 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Our finishing position then happens to be at positive 3. Go ahead and check your work there. Make sure you're feeling okay. All right, guys. Here we go, 7th grade. Our last problem then is we start at 0. We're going to move in the negative direction 2. Our sign in the middle is addition. And then we're going to continue to move in the negative direction 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Our finishing position then, looks like I forgot to put the numbers in here for you, is negative 7. It looks like we're finishing at negative 7. Okay, 7th grade. So that is how we model integers on a number line. I don't have a specific summary available for you today, but your homework then for tomorrow is to do page 12 and to do page 13 due tomorrow. Some of that is going to be review. Some of it is going to be the learning target of modeling integers on a number line and using money. So again, page 12 and 13 due tomorrow. Have a fabulous night, 7th grade.